Welcome back to Talk of the Town. And I have with me today two young ladies from the town of Hilton Head. I have Connie Pratt and Terry Lewis, and they're here to talk about some of the newer ordinances with regards to conservation, including the sea turtles nesting, etc. And some good information, Connie. What's come out of, I guess, the new ordinance is that?
Actually, it's not. It's the Sea Turtle Protection Ordinance was adopted in 1990.
Right.
So we have been patrolling the beach at night from May through October during turtle nesting season, and we see that our efforts in conjunction with the program that is run by the Coastal Discovery Museum are really paying off the conservation efforts. They patrol the beach in the mornings, every morning from May 1st to October 31st to check for new nests.
And there is a increased number of nests, in fact one of the largest in years, correct?
Correct. Since the program began in 1985, this year we have 291 nests, and that's the most nests we've ever recorded since they began marketing.
Wow. So there really is an end result to the conservation of the sea turtles. I think a lot of people don't always realize that somewhere down the road they're going to see some type of payoff from this. So, I mean, it's really good information.
That is correct. And on our end, for code enforcement, what we do is we patrol the beach at night to check for lights to make sure they're not illuminating the beach. And we have a GPS system and a camera that takes night shot cameras, and we document the violations where the lights are illuminating the beach on development adjacent to the beach, and the next day we go issue warnings to the residences. Sometimes hotels let them know if they have a floodlight or something that shouldn't be on, and we issue notices just letting them know about the sea turtles and to please keep their lights out so that the lights are not illuminating the beach, which can disorient the adult turtles coming ashore and also hatchlings as they try to make their way to the ocean.
Okay. Terry, your role with the town is?
I'm the land management ordinance official for the town, so that's our LMO. It's our kind of our book of regulations.
Okay.
And so I interpret that and kind of give guidance on that when people need it. So.
Like businesses, et cetera, I mean, you kind of set the way for them, or you set the groundwork for exactly how they should follow the rules and regulations. Is that correct?
Yes, for businesses and for residents. And right now the Town Council appointed a committee a few months ago to rewrite our ordinance just because it was written for new development. What we're really seeing now is redevelopment, so they're trying to make some changes to that. And they've been meeting once a week on Thursdays from 1 to 3 at Town Hall, and they're really looking for some public input into some of the changes that they're looking to make. They want to make the code easier to use, easier to understand.
Because I'm sure that residents, but mostly businesses, are finding that it's difficult to, obviously have any kind of signage, things that, obviously market their business, and they're probably not exactly thrilled by the ordinance, but you're saying that they can come to the meeting, the town meeting, and be part of the newer regulations.
Absolutely, yes. The committee meets on Thursdays from 1 to 3, and they're definitely looking for public input into the changes that they make. And then we're also pursuing on a separate track rewriting portions of our sign ordinance. And with those starting in the fall, we're going to be having some public meetings both during the day and at night to try to get public comment, especially like you said, from the businesses, so they can tell us what they like and then what makes it difficult for them to market themselves as a business on the island in terms of our signage.
Okay, gotcha. And Connie, as far as your role, is it just with regards to the sea turtles, or is there other things involved with basically the ordinances and the lights, et cetera?
Code enforcement is everything. For all the municipal code and the Sea Turtle Protection Ordinance, everything in the land management ordinance and the municipal code. So it's everything.
Such as,
so I enforce I enforce the sign ordinance, but in addition to the Sea Turtle Protection, we have dune protection standards.
Okay.
And so that's something that we're working on.
And I don't think a lot of people, especially maybe visitors, understand here, in Hilton Head, in the Low Country, the importance of those dunes, and maybe you can give us a little insight into that.
Right. The dunes, they serve a lot of purposes. For one thing, they protect property, so we really want to maintain the vegetation in the dunes as much as possible, because that vegetation anchors the sand and helps capture the sand to build new dunes, accrete new dunes, which is very important as far as protecting everyone's property. Also, the dunes provide wildlife habitat, and if the wildlife live in the dunes, then they're not going to come in your house where, people don't want them. So we're really working to protect the dunes as well. And right now, we're going out on the beach a couple times a week looking for things. A lot of times visitors will come and set up sort of camp on the beach for the week with their canopies and their toys and their chairs. And we've had very high tides with the recent full moon, so they'll move their everything back and store them in the dunes, which they can't store them overnight on the beach or in the dunes.
Okay.
So we're going out and addressing that several times a week, and we'll tag things that have clearly been left overnight, just letting people know, you need to remove these items daily from the beach.
All right.
And please don't store them in the dunes. And a lot of times boats will get stored in the dunes. Which
okay. Wow.
You can get a permit from the town to store your non-motorized boat on the beach overnight. You can get a seasonal permit for 6 months of the year or an annual permit for a full year, but they cannot be stored in the dunes at any time. And a lot of times what happens is boats will stay out there for months with a permit, but then as the dunes are accreting, then the boat is suddenly in the dune system, and the boats need to be moved seaward of that dune system or to another portion of the beach if there's not adequate beach there for storage.
Wow. So there's a lot of rules and regulations, and I think even permanent residents here may not even be completely aware of. Mm-hmm. So how do they gather that information? Should they call the town? Is there somewhere on the website that they can go to, or how do they obtain that information?
They can go to the website. It's www.hiltonheadislandsc.gov, and there's a lot of information, a lot of helpful information on there. They can call me at 341-4642 directly. They can call just the main town hall number if they're not sure who they want to speak to. It's 341-4600, and the receptionist will
direct them
to the appropriate person. But I'm happy to answer any questions.
And we have a lot of brochures at Town Hall too that people can pick up that also try to explain certain parts of the regulation.
Oh, brochures and et cetera. Okay, great. Well, girls, thank you so much for being with me today. A lot of good information, and thank you for joining us today on Talk of the Town. I did okay for you. Sorry about that, and there's a lot of information that I'm just not familiar with a lot of the stuff that you guys do.